Welcome to the artwork of CP, everyone. Today, Danielle and I are going to be talking about what we are thankful for. Yeah, considering the pandemic has kept me in my house for 6 months as of today. And it's been an interesting journey. As I told you guys, I realized in the middle of Chicago International Airport, Chicago O'Hare, that I was coming home to no job. So I quickly scrambled and decided to become a full time content creator slash I more focusing on my journalism degree slash doing multi-level marketing on the side, which we'll get into after my math class. Yikes, which give you guys an update on that. It's going well. Surprise, surprise. It's going well. So yeah. But all in all, my house is well, one of the things I'm thankful for is that my house is stable. And my a friend of mine actually said because I'm fighting with medical system due to well, I guess it is due to CP due to lack of care during the pandemic, which Danielle and I will get into CP and healthcare next week. But I am now fighting the medical system due to their lack of care. And let's just put it this way. I basically got, well, not, I didn't get in a fight with my doctor. I was very nice about it. But basically, I said during a pandemic, I expect you guys to at least respond to my calls. And that's why because they point blank asked me, they said, well, why are you leaving? I said, because you didn't respond to my calls. I said, you gave me a Z-Pack. You know I have a lack of movement cough. You gave me a Z-Pack and sent me on my merry way. And then when my stepmom tries to call, she had to hang up the phone because it took them 30 minutes to respond to her. And I'm thinking, well, if push comes to shove and I get in a sticky situation with my health, I don't need to be relying on medical system to get back to me. I need to make a- actions quick, and I need to make them now. And the reason why I bring this up is because for the past 5 months, I have been extremely lucky and extremely blessed that I haven't gotten severely sick, knock on wood, and I haven't really gotten severely sick. Now, granted, I have been in self quarantine for 5 months, but me, getting severely sick is not good. Not good. Me getting anything is not good due to my weakened lungs due to cerebral palsy. And uh, Danielle getting anything is not good due to her weakened lungs due to cerebral palsy. So yes, we both have weak lungs. And now it's getting to the point where, and I've always been like this, even before the pandemic too. I've always eaten everything you put in front of me because, and people know this too. And I told a dear friend of mine this, and she just started laughing at me. Um, because I, one of the lessons I learned from my mom way back when I was young too. She goes, you know, I am not a short order chef. You eat what you put in front of what I put in front of you. And it's so funny because I had another, well, she's more of an acquaintance now than um, a friend, but I had a temp aide come in here for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She did a 2 weeks stint for me. And I when I thanked her, I'll never forget it. I I thanked her for a meal because Mallory wasn't there, and so how it works is my stepmom has a full time job, and I have aides come in from 8 to 6, but on this particular day, this temp aide was here because my normal aide went on vacation, and we all knew this was coming. And the temp aide, the temp aide actually, to swing back to my abuse situation, which again I'm very very thankful for that it got set up the way it did. The temp aide actually saw what was going on before we did because and I'm surprised she didn't say anything. I'm surprised the temp aide didn't say anything. But anyway, the temp aide said something to me that I will never forget. And so we're sitting at my backgammon table near in my living room. We're having lunch. That will be my table into the day I can't feed myself any more. And I go, well, out of the goodness of my mouth, I say thank you every 2 seconds flat. And this aide goes to me. I have never been thanked for a meal in my life. And now this aide had chal- this temp aide had challenges, which I will not get into. I will not get into why why she had challenges and um and she, yeah, she had challenges, and she but my point being is that most people, when you say thank you for a meal or thank you for anything, most people say you're welcome and move on. They don't say, I've never been thanks for a meal in my life and thanks for making a meal in my life. And so, when my point being is when you go to the grocery store and I have a, I have a friend who now the now he used to be now how I know this is because he used to be a oxygen consultant, oxygen, and I used him as an oxygen consultant as I was little. When I was little, and so now he works for Pepperidge Farm in Colorado, and so the next time you guys go to the grocery store, I want you to thank the first line workers, the front line workers at the grocery store. You don't have to say thank you out of the mask, but you can always say thank you for assisting because basically right now I'm thankful for any human that wants to help me, any human that wants to serve me, I'm thankful for. It could be the it could be my tutor, it could be my private cheerleaders, it could be my aides, any human that wants to serve me, I'm thankful for. And basically, being trapped in my home for 5 months, yikes, that's a little scary, has really opened my eyes to what I do have as to compare to what I don't have. And I really, really, really want to get back on the road again. I, as I told you guys, I have started Googling, and I admitted this to my counselor too. I have started watching YouTube videos of airplanes, and now I am in a Facebook group entitled "I Belong at Beach," and so we've got a problem because this is the longest stint I have spent at home in all my life because my mother and I, not so much my dad. My dad made big promises and then didn't keep them. Let's just put it that way. And but my mom and I did a heck of a lot of traveling. So, and I apologize for the coughing attack, but my mom and I did a heck of a lot of traveling, and I don't know how she did it with, and she taught me how to travel. She actually taught me how to travel, and now I woke up in the middle of the night last night because I realized I posted on June 23rd a picture that was going to change my life forever. And the reason why I posted that and the reason why it popped up on my Instagram again is because it was 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks, well, longer than that. As I said, I posted a picture of my abuser on Facebook to make it loud and clear that this was my abuser. So I could show you. So if you go check out my Facebook story, you'll see the woman that abused me. You'll also see my stepsister, my aunt, and my stepsister, my aunt, my stepmom, my aunt who's actually my stepaunt, um, sitting beside the woman that abused me. And if you look at this woman's face, you can tell she is an alcoholic. You can just see it in her facial features. And that's one of the reasons why I gave up wine in July because I gave up wine, which I'm so thankful I did. I gave up wine in July of that, because of that individual. I will never again drink. I will never again drink because alcohol will get, you can get nasty on alcohol. And I'm very, very thankful that my abuse, even though it was abuse, and I'll never forget it, my abuse situation was set up the way it was. Because if let's just put it this way, if my private cheerleaders would spread out, um, would spread out on every floor of this house, um, including 10 feet away from me, I would have had my arms broken. I would have literally had my arms broken because if you look woman, at this woman who abused me, she and Glenna, she used to be very skinny. Alcohol made her fat. Alcohol made her fat. And alcohol definitely changed her facial features because she's only 10 years younger than my mommy. So, and my mommy turned, she turned 58, and then she died. So this person is now in her 50s. She was in her 40s when my mommy died. And and her son was only 10 when my mommy died. And now he's in his 20s. But and I'm in my 30s. But this person, man, her facial features have changed since beginning of Bono. And I am very, very, very thankful that it wasn't as bad, even though it was emotional abuse. I'm very thankful to those private cheerleaders who, including my mom, my stepsister and my aide at the time, who got the courage to speak up on my behalf. And I'm very, very, very thankful that we have now gotten to the point where I don't have to speak to my abuser ever again. If I get a phone call on her behalf, I'll treat it like she treated the call from the cops. I'll be like, next, what? I won't be sad. I won't be crying on the phone like I did um, when my grandmother died. I won't be upset. I will be like, what next? Good. Um, and I have a funny feeling that I'll get that phone call in the next couple weeks because I have a funny feeling that I will get a phone call in the next couple weeks that will change my life. And I don't know whether it's going to be about my abuser or I don't know whether it's going to be about something else. But as long as I have my wits about me, I am very, very thankful that I can still eat. I'm very, very thankful that I still have a roof over my head. And I'm very, very thankful that I do work as a professional speaker. I'm very thankful for the cash that I do have. And yeah, so my point being is the next time you go to the grocery store, thank the essential workers who's dealing with the food in the food aisle because we don't know we don't know if we go to bed at night and we don't know what's going to happen in the middle of the night, whether we're going to not see the next morning. And I am very, very thankful to Danielle for sticking with me. She could have given up on me easily. She could have given up on me easily. And I am very, very thankful to my chosen family, who also, unlike my biological family, they haven't given up on me. Although they haven't given up on me, although we've had our struggles, trust me. But they haven't given up on me, and nor have my aides. One aide had to give up on me because she did what she did, and but my aides will become and have become friends and will stay my friends until the day I can't do it anymore. And because and I'm very, very thankful that I'm getting my journalism degree and I only have 49 credits to go. Yippee skippy, yippee skippy, yippee skippy. Because Danielle's laughing at me because I want that journalism degree over and done with. I want that degree over and done with, and you guys know it. And it's like, ugh, really, really another 5 week fast, really. But it's all gonna be worth it in the end. And as I said, I may, I may take a couple months off just to let my brain relax and get my head out of a textbook, or I may just call my school now and transfer into my master's degree right off the bat. I mean, because as I said, a high power has called me, he called me into journalism, and then now he's saying go into special ed because you can practically teach those classes now. As much as I know about special ed, I would be honored and happy to help the kids of special ed land. And so, Danielle, do you want to say anything else? Do you want to say your piece? Ah, ah, ma, eh, eh, eh.
At this time, I'm thankful for my health, the friends and family I have, where I live, work, and how I am a part of the Challenge Aspen Play project.
Which, by the way, you guys, and we're sorry about that. Um, the Challenge Aspen Play project has been a little delayed. Yeah. A little delayed due to COVID and due to everything else. And so, yeah. And for those of you that are dealing with loss due to COVID, for those of you that are dealing with loss due to COVID or any loss, um, just remember the good times you had with that person. And I'll be, I, August is always a difficult month for me. August is always a difficult month for me. And, but I'm going to be strong. And just like my mama taught me, and it's it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I never thought I would reach 10 years of my mom being gone, let alone, um, let alone her husband, my dad, being where he is now. So 10 years, 10 years, you guys, they passed away of each other, and I knew that I knew that within the 10-year time span, um, that I was going to be in a different place. But I thought at this point I would have two parents with their own disabilities. But I didn't realize that I was going to be orphan, and I didn't realize that I wouldn't have the the biological family backing me up. And yes, if the biological family hears this, I am not expecting you guys to, especially my abuser, to turn around and say I'm sorry and come back into my life. You guys abandoned me in 2010. You guys abandoned me as soon as I got in the cab. As soon on Friday, August 13th, you guys abandoned me. On Friday, August 13th, 2010, as soon as I stepped back into this house, you guys abandoned me. So, there. And again, as soon as I stepped back into this house on May 18th, 2019, my family didn't check on myself or my stepsister or my mom or my aide who or any, and they haven't checked on any of my aides or any of my chosen family to ask how we can help win. Oh no. They came out here, locked the shut the door, had my aide had my aide come in at the end, yelled at all my abuser, who was on full tilt at the end, mind you, yelled at all four of us, and then in earshot of my aide, my abuser's witness goes to my stepmom, "You're paying Wynn's aides too much." And it's like, okay, you guys have not come out here to help me in any sense of the word of help. And then you say that. And when your mother has a full-time job, in when your mother has a full-time job, most people get aid to help their child, or they do what they can to, or they do what they can to make things work. And that's what my dad decided to do way back when. And believe it or not, I have had help since I was, well, I've had help all my life, but help out who came in and helped me. I've had help. My mom got help for us when I was 14, even though she was my primary caregiver. But I've had help because the reason why is, and I'll never forget this. I asked her once. I said, "Well, why do we need help?" She goes, "Well, if you want me to concentrate on you, I need help." And that was the simple facts. And I am very lucky and blessed to be teaching my help day in, day out about cerebral palsy. And I am very blessed, although some days I am not so blessed. All depends on the day, but I am very blessed to have cerebral palsy and continue the work that I'm doing. And that's how I'll leave it at that. And Danielle, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, you more, more, uh, uh,
I knew that. I knew that. I was just giving you a moment to. I knew that. I was just giving you the moment to shine. Yep. And Danielle and I are thankful to you guys that you guys actually follow us and support us too. Let's not let's
yeah,
not forget that.
you.
Let's not forget that. Danielle's laughing at me because she's like she almost whacked me over the head with a soda bat on the phone. She's like, Lynn, you're like kind of forgetting something there that we have people who actually care and actually follow us and actually want to make sure that we're still standing. And yes, we are, even though in semi lockdown Aspen, Colorado. And so happy August, everyone. And I want you guys to let Danielle and I know when you especially the teachers and the admins of the schools go back to school. Thank you very much. And I said go back. I don't mean go distance learn. I mean go back because those of you who are going back, I applaud you for going back. I spoke to admin this morning. She's the she she's okay about going back, but she said it's gonna be interesting. I have spoken to teachers in Florida, teachers in Florida, teachers in Texas, and of course, teachers in Colorado. And so, as I said publicly, I mean, just because I'm out of the education space doesn't mean I'm leaving my teachers or my admins or especially my special ed students alone in this fight. Because as someone pointed out to me yesterday, um, Douglas Hood, who is a teacher in Texas, um, he said it's like going into a war zone without a gun. So if you, and as I said, for those of you that listen to Ask to Win, and we may do a bonus episode of this episode on Ask Win too. And so for those of you that listen to Thoughts with CP, the education episode, if you need to call me on your way into school, or if you need to put on a podcast or inspirational music to pump yourself up as as you're putting mask on, which I believe most states have mandatory mask laws. Now I know Florida and Colorado do, and I know that Indianapolis does, Indiana does. And so as you march back into school, you're going to need all the resources you can get. And I will be right there with you guys. I may not be the loudmouth educator that I once was, but I will be right there with you guys. And I just applaud every single teacher out there because you guys are going into the war zone, and I am going to do a episode on now that I've done a episode on my experience in education. I maybe after no, here's a schedule, you guys. Next week we're doing what can help in education, and then the on that following week we're doing healthcare and CP because I think this goes for anyone with a pre-existing condition. I just happen to have cerebral palsy. So next week we're doing what you can do to help yourself in education and even outside when you get home at night because the poor teachers they still have to do lesson planning and they still have to do grades and the poor teachers so and they have to deal with COVID and I can't imagine. So I'm going to do that next week with my partner. Well, my podcasting partner. I almost called him my partner in crime, although we have done many crimes together over the years, but nothing to write home about. And so I'm going to do that with my podcasting partner, and then I'm going to then we'll talk about healthcare and CP and how we keep ourselves healthy, and then I will come up with something that is unique this year because we're at 10,000 downloads, you guys, of the artwork of CB. God knows how I did that. I don't know. God knows how we did that. I don't know. And we're at 40,000 downloads, and we're the amazing the voices of teachers is at 100 downloads. I That's one of my smaller shows that I did just primarily as a side project. But the two main ones are the artwork of CP and then Aswin, of course. And so I want um, by the beginning of 2021, I want to see more international listens of Aswin because I graduate in April of 2021. And by the time I hit the pavement in the journalism field, I want to know that my work will be looked at. And if I have to hand people my podcast on my resume, I will. And so I want to know that my work for the disabled is still standing. And so by the end of 2020, I would like 20,000 downloads, and I would like 20,000 episodes by the at one. Actually, it's not 20,000. It's gonna be 2,000 episodes. We're at 1,000 episodes on Ask Win now, so I would like to achieve the 2,000 episode mark, and I would like to achieve a heck of a lot more downloads than I have now. And so just keep sharing and just keep doing what you're doing and supporting um, people with disabilities. And so we'll see you guys next week for the educational extravaganza. And yeah, here we go into the battlefield of education, you guys. Bye, you guys.